This podcast is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Comcast is committed to bringing access to the internet to all Americans, including rural communities across the country, like Sussex County, Delaware.
We were being left behind. Everybody around us seemed to have internet, but we did not. High-speed internet is one of those good things that we needed to help us move our farming, our small businesses, our recreation forward.
Learn more about how we're bringing our next generation network to more people across the country at ComcastCorporation.com/investment in America.
Hey, I'm Candice Lim.
And I'm Kate Lindsay. And you're listening to ICYMI.
In case you missed it.
Slate's podcast about internet culture. And Candice, I have a question for you. Have you ever found yourself in the middle of a fight between two of your friends?
Yes, and it's the worst. It's like
It's
sometimes the best,
worst.
but it's mostly the worst.
Because they're fighting. They want you to choose sides. It's like, I love you both so much. Please just
Right.
get along.
Right.
Well, that was me last week when Trump and Musk were breaking up over Twitter.
Oh, interesting. You're in between
Yeah.
them. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm like, you guys, stop. You're both such great people. I don't know who I'm siding with here. And it's just uncomfortable. I mean, I'm obviously joking, but Luke Winkie did write a great piece for Slate about this Twitter fight and how it's the one time in his life he understands MAGA because he's like, I want Trump to destroy Musk. But I digress. As thrilled as I also am to witness this drama, it is fundamentally crazy that this essentially workplace dispute is playing out in front of billions of people on social media.
Yeah, and if you happen to miss any of this, don't worry, okay? Because the New York Times has a live blog. It all started when Musk criticized Trump's domestic policy bill, which reporters asked Trump about on June 5th. In his response, Trump made a jab about how he could have won the election without Musk's help.
And then this kind of sets Musk off on a Twitter tailspin. He says Trump would have lost the election without him. He also says that Trump's tariffs will cause a recession, that Trump should be impeached. And he also said the reason that Trump has never released the full files on Jeffrey Epstein is because Trump is in them, he says, among many other things. These tweets continue throughout the day. I was locked in.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie with that last one. To me, very fork found in kitchen.
The can of worms that would open. I mean, again, I'm sad. I'm watching.
Exactly. And I think for some people, they definitely knew this was going to happen. It's like watching your two most toxic friends get together and you're like, guys, bring out the popcorn. We start the countdown clock now.
Yeah.
And you know, normally the president of the United States would always be the one with the upper hand in general society. But Musk owns, SpaceX and Tesla and Twitter. Sometimes he calls it X. And I think Trump needs Musk more than Musk needs Trump.
Yeah, I agree. And I also just can't believe it's happening on Twitter. I mean, I can because we've already been through one Trump presidency. But normally these kinds of heated conversations between colleagues, they happen privately in an office or a group chat, hopefully not one that the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic is in.
Exactly. Except this time we're all in it. We're all in the group chat. We're all throwing in. Yeah. And it's interesting because recently I feel like I've been privy to a lot of workplace drama on the internet because now everyone has a Twitter or a TikTok account. Some people are using LinkedIn to just like share their side of the story. And oftentimes their petty little work drama goes viral. And sometimes maybe they want it to kind of breach Slack containment.
Yeah, and there is one online workplace drama in particular that I've been obsessing about over the weekend. And it involves a brand called Set Active. We're going to talk about what's going on with that and the video from the founder that started it all. But first, let's take a break. When we come back, why legging empress Lindsay Carter's girl bossing is getting on the bad side of TikTok, and later, what it means that our workplace issues are increasingly going public.
Hey there. If you love our podcast, then maybe you should consider subscribing to Slate Plus to immediately unlock bonus episodes. You'll access ad-free listening across all your favorite Slate podcasts, and you'll also never hit a paywall on the Slate website, meaning you get access to every article and every advice column. Subscribe now on Apple Podcasts by clicking Try Free at the top of our show page, or visit slate.com/ICYMI Plus to get access wherever you listen.
This podcast is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game, shifting a little money here, a little there, just hoping it all works out? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can be a better budgeter and potentially lower your insurance bill, too. You tell Progressive what you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll help you find options within your budget. Try it today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
The spirit of innovation is deeply ingrained in America, and Google is helping Americans innovate in ways both big and small. The Air Force Research Laboratory is partnering with Google Cloud using AI to accelerate defense research for air, space, and cyberspace forces. This is a new era of American innovation. Find out more at g.co/American Innovation.
And we're back. So Candice, before today, were you familiar with the brand Set Active?
So I was not, but then I actually realized I have seen them before because, like, during the pandemic, Kaya Gerber and Kendall Jenner and Hailey Bieber would wear the sets, and they're so, like, innocuous, like regular blue racerback with leggings, and it just has the words, like, S-E-T, like, in the middle of the boob.
Yeah, they got, like, kind of a cult following among, like, it girls for a little bit. It was founded in 2018 as this athletic wear company, and it was founded by a woman named Lindsay Carter. And I was looking through the website to kind of get all the background info for today's episode. And in their About section, they even say that one of their core pillars is transparency. It reads, quote, "We love to share what's going on BTS," and then parentheses, behind the set. Production planning, photo shoots, business day-to-day, what's up next, the good, the bad, and the challenging.
Emphasis on the bad, it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, at least they made good on their word, because Lindsay and her brand actually first went viral for workplace issues back in 2023 when Lindsay announced this new social media strategy.
We have restructured our team and we no longer have a social media team. I know, that's shocking. You're probably wondering, how do we do that? We did something internally called Superset. It is with 12 creatives at Set that make up all of the creative stuff that we do. We meet on Wednesdays and we cover all silos of creative. Social, marketing, TikTok.
Okay. I'm realizing that going viral for workplace issues is kind of like when a restaurant is closed because of vermin issues. It's just kind of like no good.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a little, it's like everything comes to a halt.
Exactly. And it's just like so interesting because watching this video, Lindsay is clearly reading off a script. You see in the video that she like continues to look off to the side because presumably that's where her second screen monitor is with the statement on it. And the little sound, the little bomb she added doesn't make it any better. And also what she's really saying is they seemingly laid off the social media team and gave their work to everyone else, like crowdsourcing.
Right. Yeah, that really rubbed people the wrong way, especially because it kind of devalues social media work in general, treating that kind of content creation that was, I guess, previously done by employees, like it was actually so easy. It could just be absorbed into like a side gig for everyone else there. And writer and social media consultant Rachel Carton, she has a Substack called Link in Bio. She was how I first came across that video. And after she posted it, she says she got a ton of messages from former employees about what it was like to work there at Set Active. So let me just read you a sampling of Set Active's Glassdoor reviews. One is titled, don't work here unless you can afford therapy.
Wow.
Another review has these points that say 0 work-life balance, CEO has no understanding how to run a company. And then the turnover I witnessed at this company is unlike anything I've seen in my career. I worked for the company for under a year, and at the time I left, only 6 of the same people remained from when I started. And then, they all kind of continue on in this vein. They say there's like mean girl politics, that it's just kind of a messy place to work. Overall, the company has 2.8 stars.
Oh, man. I mean, this sounds like a Chipotle. Like, it sounds like people are really, really not having a good time. Like, are there any good reviews?
So there are. They come in concentrated bursts.
Okay.
And I will say that the reviews are almost exclusively 5 stars or 1 star. It's like either or. So just make of that trend what you will.
Yeah. Okay. So we have a company that's already kind of gone viral for workplace issues. Glassdoor down. What happened last week? Is it like more of the same?
Great question. So this drama about the social team, that ended up actually dying down after a month or so. I mean, it's not a huge company or brand, so it was able to just like fade away. It didn't keep popping up. The problem is, though, that Lindsay, the CEO, has her own TikTok and used it last week to drop this hot take.
You're not gonna like this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. I believe in work-life balance, but I also believe in working your ass off. And yes, both can be true at the same time. I'm a millennial and I grew up on the idea that hard work pays off. Show up early, stay late, earn your seat. And now all I see are people sprinting out of their offices at 5 p.m. like it's a fire drill and then wondering why they feel so unfulfilled in their careers. But let me say this, balance is important, but balance without ambition, that's just coasting.
Okay. So it's just another nobody wants to work anymore, Kim Kardashian take.
Right. Like, it's not new. We already did this discourse and it didn't go well.
Right.
To accuse people who work 9 to 5s who leave at 5 of coasting, like, it's right there in the name. 5 is the end of the workday and they have their own life.
Exactly. Like, hey, maybe you're going to a workout class and maybe you're wearing Set Active.
Right. Like, you guys know there's certain recordings where I have a spin class and I'm like, I got to get out of here by 5 to make it to the spin class. Like, it happens. And especially the people who leave at 5 to get to Pilates, I imagine, are Set Active clientele. So this video is kind of insulting to her customers, but also, and this is more so what gets me, extremely shady to her employees. Because when she says that she sees people running from their desks at 5, who else would she be basing that on other than the people she sees in her own office?
Yeah. And I mean, like, wouldn't it be even more wild if we later find out that she actually is never in the office? This was just her, like, making a statement remotely.
Oh, my God. I mean, keep your eyes peeled on that glass door, I guess.
I know, exactly. And that's the thing. She's, like, not beating the Glassdoor allegations.
Exactly. And she even referenced those notorious Glassdoor reviews as, quote, old in a statement that she posted on Instagram a few days later. But the most recent review, before the influx that came during this controversy, was back in October, and it echoed many of the same things as the reviews from 2023.
Man, okay. And I mean, like, her statement, was it just like her doubling down?
Essentially, yes. So she posted a statement on Instagram stories, which was basically the same thing that she published on her Substack. And both, rather than being like, this wasn't my intended message and were I to do it again, I'd be more careful with the wording. Instead, she just kind of accuses everyone else of misunderstanding and misrepresenting her. And of course, she also uses the term cancel culture.
Oof, of course. So we know what TikTok thinks. What about her current employees who not only still work for her, but they're like presumably the target of this?
Yeah. So like, obviously we've seen what they have to say on Glassdoor, but the social team, who I guess, by the way, Set Active has again, because that's how this team refers to themselves in the caption.
Oh.
The Set Active social team made a video on the official account using the Euphoria is this fucking play about us sound.
Wait, is this fucking play about us?
It just kind of acknowledges the drama. But there are 2 sort of social employees in that video, and one is a social media manager. His name is Brandon. On his own account, he's been defending Set Active. He says the workplace is not bad and that he, quote, worked at worse, which is a ringing endorsement. But crucially, he's also only been there for 3 months.
Okay, interesting. So time will tell. I also am just like, do you think Lindsay Carter knows they put up that TikTok? Do you think maybe she approves of that TikTok being up there with the Euphoria sound?
Right. I was wondering that. Was this the team going rogue? Did she okay it? Because, it's a little... The team themselves is certainly engaging with the discourse more playfully than she seems to be on her own personal socials, is what I will say.
Right, yeah.
And obviously, when we talk about the current social media manager and him only working there for 3 months, I'm not saying I want things to be bad for him, but it's more so how crazy is it to be privy to this kind of information at all? Lindsay, she's substacking through it, and I noticed has actually paywalled most of her essays addressing what is happening. So she's girl bossing to the end.
Wow.
And it also just shows that these kind of meta workplace dramas have almost become marketing moments for brands. At the very least, she is making money off curious people interested in the controversy.
Yeah, the controversy that she also caused, and it's back end, front end.
Right. Honestly, maybe genius.
Honestly, maybe. And I should note, we did reach out to Lindsay Carter's representative for comment. They did not respond at the time of this taping. But look, social media used to be a place where workers could blow off steam, but now CEOs are also starting their own discourse. And I want to get into how this changes workplace dynamics. But first, let's take a break. When we come back, posting through workplace drama may help brands go viral, but what does it do to their workers?
Summer's here, and Nordstrom has everything you need for your best dress season ever. From beach days and weddings to weekend getaways and your everyday wardrobe. Discover stylish options under $100 from tons of your favorite brands like Mango, Skims, Princess Polly, and Madewell. It's easy too with free shipping and free returns, in-store order pickup, and more. Shop today in stores, online at Nordstrom.com, or download the Nordstrom app.
Get into your body's vitals with the Vitals app on Apple Watch.
I wanna get into my body and then my skin do the talking. I wanna feel like I'm myself again.
The Vitals app tracks key overnight metrics so you can spot changes in your health before you feel them. The Vitals app on Apple Watch. iPhone XS or later required. The Vitals app is for wellness purposes only and not for medical use.
Oh, ICYMI listeners, do I have a scoop for you? So what is it, you ask? It's that Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Now, before anyone goes suggesting that this is just a rumor, know that there's actual proof that this kettle of tea is not only piping hot, but 100% true. So, yeah, sometimes it pays to be a little nosy, but it always pays to discover. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/creditcard. And we're back. And if we're talking about workplace drama becoming marketing moments, we'd be remiss not to briefly touch on the media company Barstool Sports. So, TLDR, a Barstool Sports podcast called Taylor Watch, which is a podcast about Taylor Swift, was recently canceled because any post of theirs that used either music or paparazzi photos and videos could potentially face a lawsuit. And so I think it was just too much of a risk, too much of a mess.
Sure.
And in a podcast, CEO Dave Portnoy claimed the two hosts, Gia Mariano and Kelly Keegs, quote, refused to abide by copyright law.
Yeah. He even referred to them as, quote, the dumbest people in the company, which is actually maybe not true considering he's also in that company. But anyway.
I almost had that same joke locked and loaded.
Exactly. But here's the thing. This is not out of character.
Yeah. And I don't even want to give this story that much airtime because, in my opinion, these types of upsets is how Barstool does marketing. They have these viral moments. Outlets cover the workplace drama that just so happens to be unfolding publicly. And it also seems to somehow happen every few months.
Yeah, this is Call Her Daddy splitting up. This is Brianna Chicken Fry breaking up with Zach Bryan and somehow her boss is involved. It's all of that stuff. And I don't know, do you think this set active Lindsay Carter drama is marketing as well?
I don't think it was the original intent because she did delete the original video she made. But, you know, it is like a silver lining. It's like a way brands can turn lemons into lemonade if they also find themselves kind of stepping in it. You know, having these kind of backlash moments, it's no longer necessarily a death sentence. It kind of turns into entertainment sponsored by whatever it is your brand sells. Like it's kind of like an all press is good press mentality.
Yeah. And, you know, girl bosses getting canceled isn't new, also isn't over. Because, I mean, like back in 2015, this was a huge deal. Now it's almost like, are you really a girl boss if you haven't been publicly canceled? It's a badge of honor sometimes.
Yeah. It's kind of been accepted as just like part of it, which is why Lindsay using the term cancel culture is just so silly. Like, you being canceled multiple times is literally the only reason I know about your brand.
Exactly. And I think her talking about it and consistently like defending herself on Substack, on it like makes it worse. I mean, as you were telling me this story about Lindsay Carter, it reminded me so much of Leandra Medine Cohen, who founded Man Repellers, the very kishy like New York fashion blog she ran from 2010 to 2020. I mean, one of her moments of cancel was when she went on the Cutting Room Floor podcast. You might have heard about this podcast recently because Steve Madden was on it. Fantastic episode. But basically, Leandra goes on this podcast. She's like trying to defend her other moment of cancel when she like laid off her only Black full-time employee around the time of the Black Lives Matter movement. Subsequently, Man Repeller closed down months later after that. And not only did that Cutting Room Floor podcast episode get like major backlash, it's revealed she recorded that interview 3 times because each interview was either like not good or Leandra didn't come off well. And the production team, they had the grace to be like, let's just not put these out. But Leandra was the one to just keep calling back and be like, no, give me another shot. Give me another shot. And that is just such an example of like a person in power thinking that speaking more will fix the problem. It will make them more understood when really they just keep digging their reputation even further into the ground.
Yeah, I remember that was another drama I was seated for. And all I really have to say about Leandra Medine Cohen is that I was one time seated across from her at a Substack dinner, and we talked about the cancellation, AMA perhaps, on a future Slate Plus episode.
Oh my God! Okay, by the way, all of my like media friends in New York, they all have a saw Leandra Medine across a table story. It's amazing. She's always at a table. Always at a table.
Yeah. It was like a dinner. We were having soup that was made with pencil shavings. It was like one of those, you know what, save it for the Slate Plus.
A plus. That's hilarious. And, you know, just getting back to the topic at hand, you know, CEOs, they have always been public figures in a way, especially at big companies, but it kind of feels like social media has really allowed or encouraged or placed expectations on CEOs to become characters almost.
Yeah, because like everything is branding and you kind of have the brand and then you kind of have to create a personal brand for yourself as the person who founded it. And then that's like 2 accounts for the price of 1, essentially. I mean, I think about that whole Trippin' with Tarte scandal. So Tarte's makeup brand, they do these elaborate trips that have been accused of being discriminatory because of like who they invite. Like, spoiler alert, it's a lot of white, blonde, skinny women.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the whole trip really just seems to be about, in addition to these influencers taking pictures for Tarte CEO Maureen Kelly making videos with these famous TikTokers and becoming an influencer type figure herself on her own personal account.
Oh, it's very much like when Kim Kardashian flew out Ice Spice to like make TikToks with North. Like it was a play date.
Yeah.
It's a play date.
Yeah.
And look, making silly videos is technically fine, but what I don't love is this emerging acceptance to subtly or not so subtly degrade your employees.
Yeah, like I think in those moments, like I imagine how Lindsay was feeling when she made that video. She's just viewing herself like any other person on TikTok. And, you know, we do see lots of workers on social media using the platform to speak up about workplace issues or mistreatment. I mean, I've watched so many people's like layoff Zoom calls because they'll like put up a front-facing camera, or people will take to social media to speak up about poor conditions, and they'll kind of use it with each other to find solidarity.
And I feel like the CEOs think that's what they're doing too, but that power dynamic doesn't just go away because you're on TikTok.
Right. Like it's not, you're coming down to chat with the poors, but it doesn't make you on equal playing field. It's like the people posting their layoff calls do not have jobs anymore. Like that is the place of power or lack thereof that they are coming from, and they're like reclaiming it. I mean, this reminds me of one time at a place I worked that will not be named, except for Slate Plus, perhaps. But there was a whole bunch of layoffs, as there always is in digital media, and there was a really brutal kind of round. And a manager sent the executive who was doing the laying off, like doing the calls, sent her a pizza because she'd been having, quote, a hard day. It's like she can buy her own pizza.
Right.
Like she has a job and her own income. The people she laid off don't. Send them pizza.
And like the way you kind of know this manager did it to like save her job. That's
right. Yeah, bootlicker behavior.
Low key with the pizza. I mean, it was probably one topping. Anyway, like I think, and I think that the videos from CEOs also totally misunderstand their audience. And I actually do want to come after another medium in this space, which is podcast. Because truly, how often do you hear your CEO, either current or former, talk? Maybe like 5 minutes at an all-staff, once or twice a year at the most. The second those like Diary of a CEO type interview pods came out, I'm coming after you, Meghan Markle. I'm just willing to bet that was like the most amount of time some employees have ever heard their own CEOs talk. And sometimes they're straight up lying, or they're telling like a completely different story than the one that their workers live and work every day. And TikTok is also allowing CEOs to tell their own narrative. But to who? Because TikTok, it's not an app primarily made up of CEOs and C-suite executives, which almost feels like who Lindsay thought she was talking to.
Yes, that's exactly what when I was thinking about how she's got her audience all wrong. I literally in my head was like, she was picturing that she was on Diary of a CEO. Like,
right.
And you know, when founders appear on those types of podcasts, they're doing PR for themselves.
Yes.
And so that's not honest or authentic either. And, you know, the people who really are on TikTok, most of whom I think are regular people, many of whom are struggling, who have normal jobs, and they don't want to be scrolling and then wind up getting a lecture from someone who has so much more opportunity and privilege about how they just need to be working harder, you know, especially when you're getting that off the clock, especially if, say, you're off the clock scrolling TikTok and then it's your literal boss and you're like, wait, is this play about me?
Yeah. I mean, look, it's really tone deaf, and ultimately CEOs are exponentially outnumbered, and TikTok feels much more like a tool for the people, considering that a large part of its user base is made up of folks grinding in the trenches of an open concept office, not the C-suite, who, by the way, should not have to clock in and out of work each day worrying their boss is going to make a passive-aggressive TikTok about them.
I genuinely think this has come up enough on the pod that it needs to be codified into some kind of labor law. It's like, I don't want to walk in my doctor's office and be on a TikTok. I don't want to be minding my business and hear my boss talking about me. Like, if companies can forbid their workers from posting about certain issues on social media, we should be able to put a rule back in that says they can't be allowed to treat it like a bitter AIM away message.
Yeah, like Def Cab for Cutie, like song tags and stuff. Yeah. I mean, look, why are you, as a CEO, taking this to TikTok instead of HR? Come on.
Oh my God, this is actually giving me an idea that I need to start using Slack, like AIM away messages.
Yeah.
And post like, in the shower, don't text, or like a lyric or whatever. But you know, that kind of vague posting online, passive aggressive posting online from a CEO, I just don't think it fosters a good relationship with your employees if instead of talking to them about this issue, you're just like talking out. Like, because it's kind of like, okay, why did you post this? Did you post this to spread the word? Or do you clearly have beef with like the employees you are thinking of when you make this video? But instead taking it to TikTok, very Taylor from Mom Talk when she took to social media to tell everyone that her friends didn't support her at the CMAs. It all comes back to Mom Talk. But, so I guess it's safe to say you and I are both very anti-workplace drama on social media.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I love to consume it, but if I were an employee, I think I would just hate it for someone above me to be like posting those videos versus like I love when people on the ground are really trying to like raise their fists up to the sky.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you basically make more than me, don't. That's unfair.
Right. Don't TikTok about me.
That's right.
Yeah, I agree on both counts. And so let this be a message to listeners, actually, because if you ever see Candice and I feuding on social media, which never say never, that is not an ICYMI publicity stunt. I'm letting you all know right here and now, that's real.
Okay, that's the show. We'll be back in your feed on Saturday, so definitely subscribe. That way, you never miss an episode. Leave us a rating and a review in Apple or Spotify and tell your friends about us. You can follow us on Twitter at ICYMI_pod, and you can always drop us a note at ICYMI@slate.com.
ICYMI is produced by Vic Whitley-Berry, Candice Lim, and me, Kate Lindsay. Daisy Rosario is our senior supervising producer. Mia Lobel is Slate's executive producer of podcasts, and Hillary Fry is Slate's editor-in-chief. See you online.
Or still at your desk at 5:01 p.m.